You, an unlucky person whose leg was broken by a Maybach, were mistaken for someone with cerebral palsy by the CEO, who not only gave you $660,000 as a private settlement, but also, out of guilt, added a $5 million check. However, when you're quietly slacking off at your new company, the parachuted-in CEO turns out to be your useless sugar daddy. I went out to greet the god of wealth and was hit by a Maybach, breaking my leg. The other party offered me a $660,000 check to settle privately. I was so excited I could barely speak. Abba, Abba. The CEO thought I had brain damage from the accident and, feeling guilty, threw another $5 million check at me. Gack! I fainted from happiness. My best friend, after observing the celestial phenomena, said that on the day I welcomed the god of wealth, I would receive a windfall, the kind that couldn't be stopped. I was delighted to hear this and quickly asked her what posture I should adopt to receive the god of wealth. She whispered to me, "Tonight at 7, Old Wong's Malatang at the second intersection. The code adds spice and heat, and at that time, a mysterious person will guide you." I nodded thoughtfully. Sages always appear in unexpected ways in the most ordinary places. Heaven wants to bless me, so I tightened my small cotton jacket, rode my small electric scooter, ready to meet the god of wealth. Just as I rode to the turn at the second intersection, I saw the square not far away, where many people were making wishes to the New Year tree. I also joined in the fun, stopping my scooter and silently wishing, I hope to become incredibly rich and beautiful, to gain without effort, to receive without merit, to enjoy the fruits of others' labor, and to achieve instant success. My heart was pounding, my hands trembling. Just as I was about to open my eyes, a huge impact hit me. Ah, Mom, I've learned to fly. The sign for Old Wong's spicy hot pot on my left slowly drifted past my eyes. Then, splat! I fell to the ground. Damn, it hurts so much. My arm is numb and my knee is burning. My vision is a bit blurry, and I can't seem to move my body. No, I can't die. I haven't gotten rich yet. In a daze, I saw a man hurriedly get out of a car in the distance. Even more captivating than the man was the cool car model. Wow, this car is so handsome. If I die, I must send a dream to my best friend and ask her to burn one for me. I tried to identify the car emblem so I could tell her in my dream. There seemed to be 2 M's on the hood. This is a Maybach. Well, my best friend won't be able to afford it in her next life. I rolled my eyes and fainted from shock. I vaguely heard someone talking. I opened my eyes and found myself in unfamiliar surroundings. This house was so bright and luxurious, it blinded my humble eyes. Excuse me, is this heaven? I've done so many good deeds in this life. Will I be ranked among the immortals in the next? Heaven? Suddenly someone spoke. That's when I noticed a man sitting by my hospital bed. Wow, that sharp suit, broad shoulders, and narrow waist. Handsome profile. He was so handsome I almost had a nosebleed. Can I do whatever I want with the handsome men in heaven? Peony thought. The handsome man was stunned for a moment, then pointed at my nose. I felt my nose warm. Damn, I really had a nosebleed. Jennifer Delaney, you really can't hide anything. I cursed myself. A group of people gathered around to examine me, but couldn't figure anything out. Then the handsome man handed me a business card. Luke Dawson, CEO of Dawson Group. He crossed his legs, glanced at his watch, and exuded an air of nobility in every gesture. I'm very sorry. I'm responsible for today's accident. I don't want to make a big fuss. Can we settle this privately? His voice was low, seemingly negotiating, but with an undeniable firmness. Turns out I was lucky. After being hit, I landed in a snowdrift by the roadside. Fortunately, there had been a heavy snowfall the day before, and the thick snow cushioned my fall. I only broke a leg and had some minor scrapes. In the end, I'm still a poor wretch in this miserable world. I immediately got angry. Settle privately? I almost lost my life. Do I need your stinking money? Just as I was about to say no, Luke handed me a check. I counted ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands. Oh my God! My hand holding the check trembled a little, a full $660,000. I apologize for my ignorance just now. I was so stunned I couldn't speak for a long time. Mom, I really met the god of wealth. I pointed at the check with a trembling hand, too excited to speak. Is this really for me? Where would a poor working dog like me have ever seen so much money? If my leg wasn't broken, I'd crawl over and kowtow to him. I gesticulated wildly, wanting to thank him, but couldn't speak for a long time. tears of excitement flowing from the corners of my mouth. Abba Abba. Luke frowned and whispered to the doctor beside him. Did she hit her head too? You're the one who hit your head? Why are you still insulting people? Forget it. For the sake of 660,000, you can say whatever you want. Considering the situation at the time, it's possible, and further observation is needed, the doctor said, pushing up his glasses. Just then, Luke's phone rang. He glanced at it, his brows furrowed as if they could pinch to death 18 generations of fly ancestors. A man who makes millions in minutes, of course, wouldn't want to waste time with me in the hospital room. He took out his magic brush again, scribbled a few strokes on the check, and then handed it to me. I don't want any further complications. 5 million, and we're even. A full 5 million? What a heavenly sound is this? My eyes shot out X-rays, and Luke suddenly seemed so much taller. I've never cherished being alive so much. It turns out being human can be this happy. Asterisk. Gasp. Asterisk, I fainted from happiness. When I woke up again, there was no one in the ward. I excitedly called my best friend. It's a miracle. A miracle. I really met the god of wealth. Huh? I haven't sent you the money for the Malatang yet. What wealth have you found? Have you gone crazy? Oh, and don't forget to add extra numbing and spicy. Something seems off. But I was already swept away. I told my best friend the whole story. When she heard I was hospitalized, she cried her eyes out, almost climbing out of the phone, saying she wanted to come and take care of me hand and foot. When she learned I was fine, and then heard about the 660,000, she fell silent. Introduced me to this job. My two legs also want to have an intimate encounter with a Maybach. She went completely crazy when she heard about the 5 million. My best friend almost ground her back teeth. You got rich. It's even more upsetting than me losing money. I don't believe it. Thanks to your guidance, you're really a great person. My best friend, with her sharp tongue and soft heart. At this moment, footsteps came from the doorway, and I quickly hung up the phone. Luke walked in. I widened my eyes, looking at him with innocent and foolish eyes, playing the part of a qualified idiot. I need someone who isn't too bright and is obedient to act with me. The reward will be doubled if it succeeds. Can you do it? Doubled? 10 million. I wouldn't even dream of such a large sum. I have cerebral palsy, no thoughts of my own. If you tell me to go east, I'll rush 2 miles east without hesitation. Luke swiftly handed me the check, without any fuss. In just one day, I had become a woman worth 15,660,000. He had become a godlike figure in my heart who understands. Taking people's money to do their bidding, I will certainly do my best. I wouldn't even bat an eye at going through fire and water. Luke asked me to pretend to be his girlfriend, accompany him home to meet his parents, and avoid arranged blind dates. As he spoke, he looked out the window, his downcast eyes hiding endless worries. I understood. This was another infatuated CEO waiting for his first love to return from abroad. I'm familiar with this. I've read more CEO novels than he's used toilet paper. I patted my chest and guaranteed. Mr. Luke, don't worry. I will protect your body. I will never let any other woman have an opportunity. Whoever dares to covet my money tree, I'll be furious with them. Luke gave me a disgusted look. I know you want to protect, but don't protect for now. This is not within your scope of work. I have bodyguards. Just do your part. I was speechless for a moment. Remember, there is only a financial relationship between us, no emotional entanglement. He sternly drew a clear line with me. Love, ha ha ha. Don't worry. I've been a cold-blooded, emotionless person since I was a child. It's hilarious. I'm already a multimillionaire. What do I need love for? From now on, when I go out, I'll pick 8 young men without batting an eye. Just for fun, no strings attached. I don't care about just one. I clenched my fist and raised it above my head, swearing with conviction, more sincerely than when I got my driver's license. I swear on the hair of every future boyfriend I'll ever have that I will never fall in love, or they'll all go bald. Luke's mouth twitched. You don't have to be so sincere. After confirming that I had no other health issues, Luke took me home. Luke's mother arranged for Luke to go on a blind date with Miss Miller. In fact, it was all just a formality. It's a business marriage. Feelings don't matter. But I heard that Jessica Miller is a love-struck girl, the apple of the Miller family's eye. As long as Jessica doesn't agree, there's a chance for this marriage to change. To put on a complete show, Luke even carried me out of the car. He put my hand around his neck. Just as I was about to pull my hand away, he held it down. Don't move. If anyone finds a flaw, your pay will be docked. A few people stood in the distance, looking at us. Dock my pay? Isn't that practically killing me? I clung tightly to Luke's neck. After a few steps, he let out a breathy sound. Let go. I was full of questions. Are domineering CEOs always so fickle? I looked up and, wow, his face was beet red. The second before he was about to pass out, I loosened my grip. If you strangle me, you'll... Before he could finish, I covered his mouth. Luke's mother walked over, looking disdainfully at me in his arms. Isn't there a wheelchair? Let her push herself, Luke. Don't just hug any Tom, Dick, or Harry. Mrs. Dawson scoffed, her attitude towards me very hostile. Sure enough, every domineering CEO has a mother who tries to prevent him from being with his true love. But I wasn't scared at all. I was here to stir things up anyway. I dramatically buried my face in Luke's chest and rubbed it. I am a cat. I'm Big Brother's little kitty. I'm a dog. I'm Big Brother's big simp. If it weren't for the money, I definitely wouldn't say such disgusting things. After saying that, I even gave Mrs. Dawson a wink. Mrs. Dawson's eyes widened in anger, and she almost fainted. You vixen! I smiled sweetly, fighting magic with magic. Thank you, Mom, for complimenting my charm. Love you, moi. Mrs. Dawson was so disgusted she felt like throwing up her dinner from the night before. She said, Don't call me Mom. I won't acknowledge you. It doesn't matter, as long as I have my brother. My leg won't hurt when he holds me. Okay, I'll hold you. Luke smiled, held me tighter, ignored Mrs. Dawson, and strode forward, leaving her to stomp her feet in place. How was it? How was it? I asked Luke, seeking praise. Very good, maintain your fighting spirit. Luke placed me on the sofa, and a dignified old lady walked over, took my hand, looked me over, and showed a look of relief. I could tell at a glance whether she was friend or foe. Luke nodded to me before being called away. I greeted her warmly, making Grandma Dawson beam with joy. She waved her hand, and the butler handed me a red booklet. Granddaughter-in-law, this is Grandma's welcome gift for you. I demurred. After all, Luke hadn't mentioned any hidden income. Grandma Dawson insisted on giving me the house deed, and I reluctantly, and with much hesitation, accepted it. When I opened it, I almost fainted from shock. It was a 300-square-meter villa in the city center. Usually, I wouldn't even dare to look at it, and I'd have to speed up on my electric scooter, afraid of hurting my poor eyes. What kind of family is this? Just casually giving away a huge villa. This property deed feels hot in my hands. As I was still reeling in shock, Mrs. Dawson sneered, Look at you, so unworldly. You're so happy with just any house. You're miles behind Jessica. What do you know? This is hundreds of millions. People without dreams are so pathetic, they can't even experience the surprise of getting rich overnight. I sighed inwardly. I said cheekily, Ah, yes. Yes, Jessica is good, but your son doesn't like her. He just likes vulgar people like me. Since you're so impressive, please slap the property deed hard on my face and let me see the world. Grandma Dawson sat nearby, twirling her prayer beads. Just casually? It seems you have a better gift for my granddaughter-in-law then? Grandma Dawson's voice was old, but full of vigor. She was obsessed with her grandson and didn't care about commercial marriages. She had seen all sorts of ups and downs in her life, and in the end, plain and simple was the truth. She wanted her grandson to be happy and spend his life with the person he loved. Mrs. Dawson was speechless after being put in her place. She hadn't expected Grandma Dawson to speak up for me, and she didn't dare to retort. Everyone around was waiting for Mrs. Dawson to make a statement. She forced a smile that was uglier than a cry. Of course. Mrs. Dawson tearfully took out a set of jade jewelry. The luster and color were clearly not ordinary at first glance. She handed it to me with a pained expression. When I reached for it, she wouldn't let go, so I snatched it from her. Be careful, don't break my treasure. It's not your treasure anymore, it's my little treasure now. I smugly hugged the jewelry box to my chest. I saw her little mouth pucker as if she was about to cry, transforming from a wealthy socialite into a pitiful little creature who had lost her beloved. Luke stood at the top of the stairs. I don't know how long he had been watching. He was about to come over and take my hand when he was interrupted by a sudden voice. Brother Luke. Jessica walked in through the door, aimed at Luke, and charged straight towards him like a guided missile. However, Luke, being uncooperative, dodged to the left. Jessica directly pounced on me. We embraced fully, and Luke supported my back so that the wheelchair wasn't knocked over. Having such a beautiful woman pounce into my arms truly made me feel flattered. Beautiful? Don't be like this. You're too enthusiastic. Jessica got up to grab Luke's hand, and Luke quickly gave me a look. It was my turn to act. I turned my wheelchair to block her and grabbed her hand. "Hello, I'm Luke's girlfriend." "How can that be? Brother Luke promised to marry me." Jessica looked incredulously as Luke took my hand. "I'm sorry, our engagement is off. I have a girlfriend now." Luke's voice was cold, without a trace of emotion. "You seduced him, didn't you?" "No, he was desperately in love with me, so much so that he wanted to be my dog." I started spouting nonsense with a straight face, launching into a crazy literature rant. Luke looked at me with a question mark on his face. "I don't believe it. You're talking nonsense," she snapped, getting agitated. "I don't believe you don't believe it. You're just jealous that Luke can be my dog. I'll give you a chance to be my dog too, then you'll believe it." She raised her arm, and her palm came down hard. Luke, quick as a flash, grabbed her hand, and Jessica was pushed back a few steps by him. "Get out!" Jessica, tears welling in her eyes, rushed into Mrs. Dawson's arms to complain. Mrs. Dawson angrily lectured me, and Luke covered my ears. A little while later, she walked up to Luke, completely devoid of her previous anger. It seemed she had changed her strategy. Just as she was about to call Luke, I interrupted her. "Brother," I called out, my voice full of twists and turns, stirring and resonant. "Brother, I'm so dizzy. Please take me to rest." Luke picked me up horizontally, spun around, and kicked Jessica back a few steps. She was stunned. "My girlfriend's legs are too long, sorry." Ignoring Jessica's murderous glare, Luke didn't look back, carrying me away. The Miller and Dawson families were old family friends, with close ties. To win back Luke's heart, Jessica simply moved into the Dawson house. Her room was arranged next to Luke's. As his girlfriend, I naturally shared a room with him. Luke had already showered and was lying in bed, handling official business on his tablet. No wonder so many people were throwing themselves at him. It was because he was so hot. His pajamas had a deep V-neck, and his good figure made one gasp. He picked up a glass of water to drink, caught my curious gaze, and choked on a mouthful of water. His Adam's apple bobbed, and water flowed down his chest to where I couldn't see. I was stunned and unconsciously blurted out the classic line, "You're so hot." He looked shocked, with the shyness of a young maiden being teased. I realized I had actually said such rude words to my sugar daddy. I'm sore." Before I could finish, he suddenly pounced. No way. He wouldn't be so angry as to try and assassinate me, would he? Luke's warm breath brushed against the top of my head, and my heart began to pound. Just as I was about to speak, he placed his index finger on my lips. A dark shadow vaguely appeared through the crack in the doorway. It turned out someone was eavesdropping. At this moment, as a qualified employee, I should proactively share my boss's worries. I completely understood the next move. Before Luke could speak, I gave him a reassuring look. "Don't worry, I'm good at this." I opened my phone and played a video I had found earlier. Unspeakable sounds filled the entire room. I raised an eyebrow at Luke. His gaze was a little evasive, and his ears were red. To say I felt nothing inside would be a lie. After all, I don't usually watch this kind of stuff. I feigned composure. "Aren't you ashamed? Are you going to let people sleep?" Jessica angrily pounded on the door. I turned the volume up even higher. Listen well. Before long, Jessica left, her footsteps so heavy they could have shattered the floorboards. I prepared thoroughly, didn't I? I confidently patted my chest. Luke pinched the bridge of his nose and said, "I just wanted to turn off the light and put an end to her thoughts. Why isn't he playing by the rules?" "To save face," I said. "Don't worry, I have experience. This way, the effect will be even more explosive." Just as I was speaking, another shadow appeared at the door. I continued playing the video. This time, it was a chuckle of glee. Before long, another one came, a triple blessing. The sound played for a whole hour, and I was numb. Luke's face was completely dark. He stared at me without a word, making me shiver. I tentatively asked, "You wouldn't happen to want the resources, would you?" Was he perhaps upset that I had such good stuff and wasn't sharing it with him? I leaned in with a sincere desire to share. "I have many other types too. I'll share them with you at a low price. Not 998, not 888, just 688. "Shut up, don't make me say it a second time." He angrily turned his back. He must have been self-conscious due to his lack of knowledge. Because of the sound, I had an indescribable dream that night. The next day at the dinner table. The four of us had 8 dark circles, each heavier than the last. Mrs. Dawson and Jessica's resentment could fuel 10 evil sword immortals. Grandma Dawson subtly advised Luke that young people should know how to exercise restraint. Luke's face turned green, and even in his social death, he didn't forget to drag me down with him. Jennifer is just too much. We'll be more careful in the future, won't we? He pinched my face, his forced smile sending a shiver down my spine. Yes, we will! I shyly pounded his chest with my little fists. He almost choked from my blows. Jessica violently cut the steak on her plate, as if it were my flesh. Mrs. Dawson told me not to think that a one-night stand would allow me to marry into wealth, and that even having a child wouldn't legitimize my status. I don't want to be a phoenix anyway, I'm a nightingale. I just wouldn't take the bait, playing dumb with her. My heart is beating, love is like a raging fire. You are smiling, I am the crazy one. Before I could sing a few lines, she covered her ears and ran away. Hey, don't go, I don't charge for my singing. Looking at Mrs. Dawson's hurried back, it was clear that no one was not impressed by my voice. Jessica cornered me and called me shameless. She warned me to stay away from Luke. Brother Luke is just temporarily interested in you. If you know what's good for you, leave now. I nodded seriously. It's hilarious. It wasn't even a temporary interest, not even for a second. I'm telling you, the Dawson family will never acknowledge you. Not only the Dawson family, but even Luke himself wouldn't acknowledge me. No matter what she said, I just nodded in response. She was getting agitated, but I remained calm and composed. She then shifted her focus to Luke. She shamelessly pestered Luke, even chasing him to his company. Luke was so annoyed that he directly offered a condition. If I could make Jessica give up bothering him within a week, he would give me another $5 million. My eyes lit up when I heard that. Even if it meant making Jessica fall in love with me, I had to get that $5 million, but I didn't expect that before I even got the $5 million. Someone else was rushing to give me money. Mrs. Dawson immediately put on an air of superiority, instantly deciding that I was a vain woman who loved money more than anything. I slammed the table. It's true. It's been a long time since someone understood me so well. My previous boss always brainwashed me, saying I was indifferent to fame and fortune, and viewed money as dirt. I really wanted to shove his head in the toilet, give him the dirt, and give me the money. Mrs. Dawson got straight to the point, offering me $10 million to leave Luke. Here it comes. The classic rich family money-making scene, and I'm right in the middle of it. I feigned sadness and demurred, Mrs. Dawson, how can you say that? I truly love Luke. $15 million. All right, I knew you were a woman who only cared about money. You don't truly love my son at all. She slammed the coffee cup down on the table, and coffee splattered out. That's right, old hag. I'm telling you, if I marry into the Dawson family, I'll turn the Dawson family upside down. I'll make all of you miserable, and I'm quite good at hitting mothers-in-law. Mrs. Dawson's body trembled, and she gritted her back teeth. Fine. $15 million it is. $30 million. Mrs. Dawson stood up abruptly, pointing her finger at my nose from above. Don't be ungrateful. Oh, I'll just have one child with Luke, and I'll make the child take my surname, letting the Dawson family die out, and have the child call Mrs. Wang, who always beats you at mahjong, grandma to infuriate you. She clutched her chest, gasping for breath. Just thinking about such a life made her feel faint. All right, I said with a smile, $40 million. Mrs. Dawson slumped into her chair. You're going too far. Who raises prices like this? Well, you've seen it today. I've moved in, and every day will be like this, so get used to it quickly. You'd better think it over. I whistled nonchalantly, swinging my plastered leg onto the table. Just $40 million, not a penny more. Mrs. Dawson closed her eyes helplessly. Wow, $40 million. It would be rude not to take it. Using limited resources to earn unlimited money. Deal. Remember to draft a gift agreement too. Earning money legitimately. Being a law-abiding citizen. I promised Mrs. Dawson that I would leave Luke within 3 days. That means I also need to deal with Jessica within 3 days. Instead of waiting for her to cause trouble for me, I'll take the initiative. I know you like Luke. I can let go. But I have one condition. Jessica's eyes lit up when she heard that. Isn't it just money? I have plenty. Well, they're all people who aren't short on money. I'll give you a discount, $30 million, Jessica pouted, disdainfully saying, Is that all? I'll add another $5 million, disappear from my sight within 3 days. Sis, don't be so cool. You'll make me fall in love with you. I'll get out of here quickly. Rich sister, let's stick together. I carefully put the check into my bag and sighed. Finally, I'm out of this misery. Jessica caught the key phrase in my words. Misery? What misery? I feigned panic and covered my mouth. No, nothing. Jessica stubbornly blocked my way, insisting I explain. I quietly leaned into her ear. Actually, Luke likes his little assistant. He was just using me as a shield. Jessica thought for a moment, recalling the assistant's appearance, and was immediately shocked. Huh? Impossible, you two were so passionate that day. It was all fake, his trick to fool you. He likes someone else, sister. Huh? Most importantly, he's not very good in bed. I personally saw him searching for treatments online. Huh? So he sacrificed himself for love? She muttered to herself. I can't believe someone as strong as him would stoop to being beneath someone else. Sister, you're very good at grasping the main points. Jessica's expression, clearly enjoying the show, was like a civet in a melon patch. I'm telling you this because I consider you a sister. So you absolutely cannot tell anyone else. It's terrifying, living a life of widowhood, being a model couple in everyone's eyes. It's too painful. Luckily, you're taking my place, sister. You're truly a living bodhisattva. Jessica panicked. Wait, who's taking your place? The man you don't want? I don't want either. No, if you leave, who will be his shield? I grabbed her arm. Butler! Butler! Quickly stop Miss Jessica! Jessica was startled like a frightened pig, struggling desperately. Just then, Luke appeared at the doorway, clutching his backside with a strange expression. Brother Luke, what's wrong? He cleared his throat lightly. Nothing. He touched his neck, a red mark somewhat glaring. That mosquito bit him too well. Jessica's expression was hard to describe. She rushed to Luke like a madwoman. Brother Luke, let's call off our engagement. Why? A glint flashed in Luke's eyes. He hadn't expected me to resolve it so quickly. It's all because of you. I quickly winked at her, mouthing the words, don't hurt his pride. A cornered dog bites. I couldn't let Luke know I'd spread such an outrageous rumor, or my $5 million would definitely go down the drain. Jessica, thinking quickly, said, Because I'm a free spirit who loves freedom. Jessica immediately pulled him, wanting to go explain things to both sets of parents. Girl, thank you. Girls help girls. She whispered her thanks to me. Spending $35 million to hear my made-up gossip, you deserve it. I quickly packed my things. Luke's little dog kept barking at me. It felt like it was swearing a bit, as if defending Luke. I flashed a twisted smile. You want to give me money too? The dog was about to run, but I caught it. Soon, its collar and clothes were stripped off. Even dogs wear LV. I'm jealous. I'll sell them. Let it know the wickedness of human hearts. I fleeced the Dawson family dry. After earning 3 times the money, I happily made my escape. Everything around me felt like a dream, and after waking up, the emptiness in my heart could only be filled with money. Before leaving, I left behind the property deed and that set of jewelry. One shouldn't be too greedy. Let his future unlucky wife have them. I can only wish my sugar daddy and his true love 100 years of happiness. I'm so benevolent, so he shouldn't bother me anymore. Now that I'm a billionaire, I flew straight to Phuket with my best friend. We played to our heart's content, buying whatever we wanted. My best friend hugged me, tears of gratitude streaming down her face. Jennifer, I knew you were destined to be rich. From now on, I'll be your leg accessory. No problem, no problem. We were also accompanied by 10 handsome young men with broad shoulders and narrow waists. I generously shared 5 with my best friend. We share blessings and endure hardships together. One fed us, one gave us drinks, one massaged our feet, one massaged our backs, and another performed a lightsaber costume change. It was like living in paradise. Who understands? While I was indulging in pleasure, I didn't know that Luke was digging 3 feet deep to find me. In over 2 months, I had traveled around half the world with my best friend. I saw scenery I had never seen before. Life returned to peace, becoming a little boring. When people are bored, life tends to become irregular, and they tend to act foolishly. I started to miss the feeling of strategizing with colleagues, slacking off at work while getting paid, and knowing all the company gossip. So, I decided to find a job and become the most low-key, invisible rich woman in the company. From then on, work was just a way for me to relieve boredom. If someone made me unhappy, I would quit. With a whatever attitude, I succeeded in my first interview. Within a week, I had blended in with my colleagues. They said there had been recent personnel changes in the company, and a new CEO would be taking office next week. Who cares? What does that have to do with me? But then they said our new CEO was no ordinary person. That teasing expression clearly meant there was some juicy gossip. I heard the new CEO was as handsome as a male celebrity, but he wasn't very good in that area and didn't like to get close to women. Why did that description sound a little familiar? And two young masters from this city even fought over the new CEO. How exciting! I love it. So, on the day the new CEO took office, my colleagues and I slacked off and staked out the company lobby, wanting to see what this male vixen looked like. The result was truly outrageous. My colleagues and I were sitting on the lobby sofa during our break, watching a crowd of people clear the way for the new CEO. You see their presence before you see them. I quietly complained to my colleague. The new CEO seems like a sack. How so? He's really good at pretending. I took a sip of coffee, and just then, the CEO appeared. I spat out my coffee. I must be seeing things. How could it be Luke? I recalled that outrageous rumor. If he knew it originated from me, he'd surely kill me. Oh no, my life is in danger. Is it too late to resign now? My actions drew the attention of those around me. I quickly covered my face, ready to flee, but he barked, "Stop! Stop your mother." I paused for a second, then fled without stopping, but he still grabbed me by the collar. "Jennifer, do you know how long I've been looking for you?" His sinister tone sent shivers down my spine. My heart was dead, and I wanted to cry but had no tears. I said, "Handsome, who are you?" I hit my head before and lost my memory. Luke gave a deathly smile. "Oh, really? Lost your memory? Then let me help you remember." Then, like a little chick, I was carried by him to the office, enjoying the stares of the entire company. Luke meticulously calculated the money I had swindled, threatening to turn me over to the police for fraud. I panicked. I didn't swindle anyone. They gave it willingly, and I even have a voluntary donation agreement. He sneered. "So you're not pretending anymore?" I stood before his desk, head bowed, like a primary school student who had made a mistake, ready to confess. Now the whole circle is laughing at me. They all believe I'm a... He couldn't even bring himself to say it. I understand. I nodded slightly. "You don't understand anything." Yes, I don't understand. Every word was a landmine. I was terrified. Luke looked like he wanted to smash the desk. He gritted his teeth, wishing he could eat my flesh and drink my blood, scaring me so much I didn't dare to lift my head. How was I supposed to know that big-mouthed Jessica would tell everyone she knew? "Jessica, I don't want any sister to be hurt. Girls help girls, okay?" I mumbled. "Everyone's laughing. You're so amazing. It's like doing charity." "What did you say?" I gave an awkward laugh. I said, "Didn't you ask me to handle Jessica in a week? I had no choice but to resort to this. Just tell me if it's resolved or not." I threw caution to the wind. He stared at me intently. "You've caused me such a huge problem. How do you plan to compensate me?" I stammered for a long time, unable to come up with an answer. Just then, the assistant knocked on the door with an urgent matter. While they were discussing, I secretly slipped away. It was too terrifying. I hastily tried to resign, but was rejected for various reasons. I couldn't leave this company, so I just took leave. Anyway, whoever wanted to go to this company could go. As a result, within 2 days, Luke personally called me, telling me to get back to work and atone for my sins. Otherwise, he would sue me with his team of top lawyers. That scared me into scrambling back to the company. As long as he didn't touch my money, I'd agree to anything he said. But when I got to the company, HR informed me that I had been transferred to the CEO's office as a secretary. I always felt that this decision sent shivers down my spine. The HR manager, an older woman, repeatedly warned me to keep a low profile these days and not to anger the CEO. "What do you mean?" I asked. The HR manager told me about the bizarre encounters of the past few days. Luke, newly appointed, needed to hire several secretaries, and he took this matter seriously, so he personally participated in the interviews. Unexpectedly, all the interviewees were male sisters, over 1.8 meters tall, like an imperial concubine selection. It was quite a spectacle. Their eyes were fixed on Luke the whole time, constantly flirting with him. Luke, in a fit of rage, told them all to get out, and almost tore the office apart. After that, he specifically asked for me to be his secretary. Now, my colleagues all think the CEO and I are best friends. I'm really grateful. I stood nervously at his office door, feeling like I'd go in vertically and come out horizontally. Just as I was about to knock, the sound of high heels clattering furiously came from behind me. "Oh my goodness! Daughter-in-law, I finally found you!" I turned around, bewildered. "Mrs." Dawson rushed over with a group of people. Anyone who didn't know better would think she was going to fight. She greeted me with a beaming smile, pulling a Rolls-Royce car key from her bag. "Daughter-in-law, the car you drive to work doesn't suit your status." "Listen to Mom, drive this one." Also, that house you live in is too small. Move in with Luke, and I'll get you 3 nannies. I've already bought all the latest seasonal bags and shoes. Colleagues around me whispered, looking at me with a sense of awe. Mrs. Dawson, you've got the wrong person, haven't you? She used to dislike me so much, why the sudden change of heart showering me with money? A weasel paying respects to a chicken, no good intentions there. How could I mistake my own daughter-in-law? She apologized to me. It was my fault before. My second personality came out. From now on, if mom treats you badly, you can slap mom hard. No. What triggered her? Luke said he wouldn't marry anyone but you, otherwise he'd go abroad with Mrs. Wang's son to get a marriage certificate. She was almost in tears as she spoke. Luke, you really outdid yourself, resorting to any means to get back at me. I remained bewildered when the office door opened. Luke slowly walked over to me. I whispered, "What's going on? Are we acting again? Just so you know, I'm very expensive. No one would possibly give up money just for the sake of appearances, right?" Luke chuckled, annoyed. "Is there anything else in your head besides money?" "You!" I blurted out. The surprise in his eyes flashed by. "No, I mean you're the god of wealth. You're synonymous with money. To have you is to have money. You want to have me? I agree. I thought about it. You've caused me such a big mess. Why don't you just compensate me with yourself?" He took my hand, and my heart pounded. He gently ruffled my hair. "Jennifer, I like you. Be my girlfriend." I was stunned and whispered, "This business is a loss. I'm not doing it. How did I get myself into this?" I didn't dare to look into his eyes. My heart rate betrayed me. His appeal to me was greater than I had imagined. You like money, and I have nothing but money, which means you like me. No, how is he self-strategizing? He's certainly mastered the art of equivalent substitution. I'll offer my entire fortune and invite you to a lifelong romance. Do you accept? Is he that generous? I wouldn't be able to spend it all in my next life, would I? In that case, it's actually not impossible. I want both the man and the money.